In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Victor Wembanyama and how he shoots the basketball in the NBA. He is one of the biggest, obviously, one of the biggest players in the NBA, but also one of the most popular, even though he's just a rookie. So let's get down. Let's check out how he shoots the ball. Really quickly, if you want to be able to shoot the basketball better, make sure to go check out my shooting workout that is down in the description below. Okay, so the one thing I really want to break down really quickly is the fact that he's already getting ready at this point to catch that ball. There are so many players who are younger that generally don't have their hands ready to catch. As we can see right here, he already has his hands out. He doesn't have his hands to his side and then lifting them up really quickly at the end. He's getting ready. He has his hands up. He's giving a target to the passer. And then he steps in right here. If we watch his right foot, he steps in with his right foot, which will allow his right side to get in line so that he can shoot that basketball at a higher percentage. Because as we all know, you need your right side in line to be able to shoot the basketball straight. We can really see it right here where he already had his hands up going in to catch that ball. He then goes and takes that right step in, and we can also see that his body is slightly tilted away from the basket. And his whole entire body is tilted away from the basket as well, including his knees and his feet. See, you need to be tilted away from the basket to be able to get your right side in your line. I'm going to break that down in a second, but you can't just have your upper body tilted away and then your lower body tilted a different way. That doesn't work. You need the whole body to be in line. And as we can see right here, his shoulder and elbow are pretty well in line with the rim, and that ball is over top of his upper arm. This essentially creates the shooting triangle and allows him to be able to make more shots. I'm going to break down something else as well, but watch this really quick. When he goes into his shot, if you're a player with long arms or maybe big hands, you may want your offhand to be more on the top of the ball. And then when you release, you're going to be releasing that hand first before you release your shooting hand. Also, if we really look closely, look at his palm. Look at his fingertips. He has the ball right on his palm. There's a reason for this. You get more accuracy when the palm is actually on the ball. However, you have less control of the ball if your arms get hit. That's why a lot of old school coaches will say you need to shoot with your fingertips. With modern knowledge and of course with Steph Curry's shot and many other high-level, high-percentage shooters, we know that by putting your palm on the ball is actually going to increase accuracy when shooting. We can also see that he has really good flow to his shot. He extends his knees and lower back at the same time, and then he releases the ball at the height of his shot, going on the way up into the jump. We can see that right here. When we go really slow, while he's on his way up into his shot, he's releasing while going up, but at the top of his shot. Now, being the tall player that he is, we can see that he does have a higher angle to his shot, a higher arc to his shot. That is expected considering he's 7'5" with like an 8 foot or whatever, 10 foot, close to 10 foot, like extension if he was to reach up. It's insane. So that's why he's going to always have a higher arc. You generally want to be within that 42 to 45 degree angle on the descent of the ball. Coming in too high will actually, if it hits the rim, have a greater chance of bouncing out. However, it will make the rim look bigger versus a straight shot that would make the rim look like this. So even though it's a higher arced shot, if he can hit it there on the rim, he's going to be very successful shooting that ball. And we can see right here, it hits the side of the rim and just kind of rolls in. He also has really good footwork as well. He's going towards his left side here and he's going up with his shot. Something I've noticed with him even when he was younger, and I've pointed this out in a previous shooting form video of Victor Wembanyama, he brings his knees together. Now, this is something that a lot of trainers will say, oh my God, you can't do that. That's going to really injure your knees. Well, if we've looked at a lot of different footage of when players jump, or when if we actually look at different African tribes who do their jumping dance, they actually bring their knees in together like that, and they seem to be able to do that up until their older ages. So I'm not too sure how that will affect his knees later on in his career. We'll just have to watch and see. But he brings that ball up the middle of his body. That's going to be expected with players with longer arms. Players who I coach, you've seen on this channel, like David, they generally bring the ball up the middle of their body, and that is because they have a greater wingspan than their height, and sometimes just having a longer arm is just awkward, and it's easier to get it up the middle of their body. Now, if you've got a shorter wingspan than your height, then generally coming up the right side of your body is more preferred by most coaches. But as long as you have your shoulder, elbow, and ball in line in the shooting triangle, you're generally going to be able to have a straight shot. This is extremely important, to be able to have your shoulder, elbow in line with the ball over top. That is going to be what every single player should be aiming for. And we can really see how much of his lower back he's actually using in his shot. This is a trick that players like Steph Curry use as well to get a nice soft shot. Now, his shot release is quite high. We can see that right here. And he has kind of a soft release, and he has zero thumb flick. However, if we look at the actual set point right here, roughly, right, let's see if I can get it stopped right at the right point. His set point is technically right there in front of his right eye, but it's a one motion shot all the way up. He has a hard release at first, and then it kind of goes into a soft release. That's actually somewhat expected by me for players with gigantic hands. And of course, he does make a lot of shots. He's got really good rotation on that ball. Again, if we were to measure from this angle the descent of the ball, we can see that it's coming down at around 49 degrees, which is still quite high when you compare it to what it should be. However, this is potentially the reason why it was able to bounce off that rim and not bounce totally out, because at that lower angle that we see, that's actually going to be beneficial. You don't want to have a straight shot. You're not going to make your shot. You don't want to have a high arced shot, because now the gravity behind the ball when it hits the rim is going to have a greater chance of bouncing out. Even though the rim looks bigger to the ball, if it hits the rim, it's going to bounce out. So definitely you want to be between that 42 to about 45 degree angle. And you can do this by simply downloading the app I'm using right now, which is called CoachLens. It's down in the description below. And this, you can put up the degrees like this, and you can basically measure how far your degree angle is from the rim, as I've done in this video. So of course, the link to CoachLens is down in the description below. That's going to be helping you as a coach and even as a player. Make sure to go check out my shooting workout as well. That is down in the description too, if you want to be able to shoot the basketball from further away. I hope that this video has helped you. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in my next video.